From carry invoker to bristleback support, this is the International. In this video, we'll be covering everything you might have missed so far at the International 13. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Our first series of the day was Team Liquid versus Xtreme Gaming, who met in the upper bracket after defeating BetBoom and Talon in their respective seeding matches. Going into Game 1, Liquid would expose the weakness of XG's draft, that being their lack of catch. Despite having an Orchid on XM, Jin-Q on Slark, and to support Marcy, it wasn't enough to control the puck. A prime example of this is where Nisha just flat out runs away from XG, even taking the Watcher right in front of them, which is just outright hilarious. And if you didn't already know, Nisha is a god at positioning. I mean, look at the way he farms this camp while also dodging a gank from XM, who just finished his Orchid. Bro can't even see them, which means my man is just using his raw game sense to guide him as he farms. I know if this is me, I'd be dead for sure. The closest they got to taking Nisha down was at 36 minutes, but then this happened.
Shift out, still trying to beat into him is XM. They back away from that Luna, broken for the moment. Do they have enough extra damage to throw into midgame? Trying to take him down. Nisha's low too, but on the other side, Ame goes down. Still XM strong and in top of all of it. But look at the Satanic! Oh, he's keeping him alive. midgame living through it all. He don't want to die. As they take down two, it was enough for the buyback on the lead. Pulls them all in. They do with the rampage. You gotta be kidding me.
After a textbook win by Liquid in Game 1, they headed into Game 2, where XM would try to mimic Nisha by picking Puck, but he would soon find out that he is just not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal, trust me. You're not that guy.
The game would start with Ame getting first blood, and shockingly, this would be the only kill that they would get all game. Liquid would go on to steamroll over XG, securing their first team wipe at just 10 minutes in the game, giving them a lot of momentum going into the mid-game. What also helps with their mid-game snowball is Liquid's constant pressure of the 7-minute Wisdom rune. And if any teams are watching this, just know Insania's coming for your rune. This man does not care about his life whatsoever, so he's gonna be there no matter what. Liquid would apply so much pressure that they would end the game before Ame would even finish his Battle Fury. Later in the day, Tundra would face against Team Falcons, where Tundra would seek revenge after being eliminated by the Falcons in the last two tournaments they played in. One of the craziest moments this game was when Pure hit a frame-perfect Lincolns onto Thompson, saving him from getting doomed, thus winning them the teamfight, and resulted in Tundra rushing tier 4s and ending the game soon afterwards. Game 2 might just be the hypest game we've seen yet at the International. The game would have a slow start, with a score of 7-5 at 30 minutes in, but Tundra was fine with this, as they knew they would scale well into the late game with Pure's Luna and Thompson's Invoker, with items that if you did this a few years ago, congrats buddy, you just won yourself a free ticket to prison. Post 60 minutes, the game would be a bloodbath, where it looked like Tundra was about to lose the game after having 3 heroes dead with no buyback. Knowing Falcons would try and end the game, Thompson and Soxa knew that they had to do something in order to buy time for their teammates. They managed to take down Crit, but it didn't matter too much as he bought back instantly. But what really made a difference was Soxa stalling the Falcons for an extra 5 to 6 seconds before death, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you'll see why this was so important in a minute. Falcons are rushing Tundra's base. It's a 2 versus 5. Backs firmly against the wall, as Tundra have to stall for over 30 seconds before their carry returns to battle, and somehow they managed to pull this off.
Closing the gap into Thompson. Thompson's in trouble. He's trying to get back towards the fountain, but Thompson's gone. Out for 2 minutes. The tier 4's falling. The fortification's there. 10 seconds until Pure's back up. They're likely to maybe have one more fight in the Tundra, but it will be without Thompson. Tier 4s, they're gone. They've got to do something soon, Tundra. Falcons.
Pure's TPing in. He's going to go for it.
Let's see what Pure can do. He's going to go straight over what's snaking. He's taking up the Oracle. Now turns towards Skeeter, but Skeeter's having to get the link off. Pure wants to refresh a big.
Oh my goodness!
Coming in from Whitemon. Sets up the fight to fall into the hands of Pure. The base, it's been defended. Falcons, they have to get on the retreat. They're not going to get the chance to though. Pure jumps over. He's got the setup on towards Maori. They're going to be able to take down the Pango as well. Tundra hold.
This fight would result in Pure getting an Aegis, as well as buying a Divine Rapier. And after sieging high ground, Falcons were no match for the damage of Pure, resulting in Tundra 2-0ing the Falcons. Also, it has to be said that despite how close this game was, despite Ramses being 1-8 by the end of the game, he still drops an easy in the chat after winning. This man is truly just like us. In case you're wondering what Moon Meander thinks about the TI winner and Falcons coach, Awi2000,
boring, mundane,
NA Dota is officially back, with Nouns playing like a top 10 team in the world. They would defeat Team Spirit in a convincing 2-0 during their placement series, with Yatoro stating that they didn't play fast enough in Game 1 and got outdrafted in Game 2. Nouns would then fight the Gaimin Gladiators in the upper bracket, and in the first game, they looked like one of the best teams in the world, with Yuma's Mirana going on an absolute terror, farming the fountain of the Gladiators, making them look like they don't even deserve to be on the same server as them, winning the hearts of NA fans as they closed out the game in 35 minutes. But the Gladiators took this loss on a personal level, as they came out swinging in Game 2, dropping Nouns harder than a Randy Orton knockout, ending the game in 36 minutes. Going into Game 3, Quinn did his best to cosplay the Boogeyman. Like, this dude won every lane for his team, abusing Monkey King's facet Simian Stride, which basically allows him to travel across the map faster than Storm Spirit at level 1 and with no mana cost. Quinn would single-handedly win the side lanes for his team, like this clip here where he's diving the tier 2 at minute 7. And folks, if your mid DK rushes Blink Dagger and Force Staff just to get away from the enemy and still dies anyway, you know you're screwed. A funny moment was when Copy hit Dyrachyo with a blink, stun, and runaway combo, thinking there were more Gladiators in the bottom lane, but there wasn't. There was, however, a Quinn in the middle lane, which if we watch Quinn's perspective, from the moment Yuma goes on Dyrachyo bottom, it only takes 7 seconds for Quinn to travel from mid to bottom. Like, is that not crazy? Like, this resulted in Gaimin going high ground, and it started a fight that pretty much wasn't over until the end of the game. With a final score of 2-1, the Gaimin Gladiators have just secured their place in top 6 of TI13, and unfortunately for my NA Dota fans, Nouns' journey would end at the International soon after this, as they were unable to pull through in their lower bracket match against BetBoom. Quick PSA to Jenkins. Are you okay? Don't get me wrong, I respect the confidence to wear something like this on the biggest stage in the world, but dude went from wearing an It cosplay to this fit here where he looks like he's about to tell his friend not to come to school tomorrow. We gotta talk about C9 for a second, as they are playing out of their minds. Their offlaner DM, currently number 1 in KDA, and their support Katomi is even ranked higher than Liquid star player Nisha. Another crazy stat is that all 3 of C9's cores are the top 3 players with the least deaths in the tournament. But what I thought was interesting was how their coach Astini said that they treated the group stage like scrims.
Group stage were just like screens, they didn't really matter.
If you're anything like me and you want the team that nobody knows about to win, unfortunately, all of our Cinderella teams are dead. Talon got outclassed by BetBoom, but man, did they give them a run for their money, as they would backdoor their Ancient in Game 2. One win would take out Team Zero, and I think a lot of people had high expectations for this team going into TI, but their next opponent would be Team Falcons. So, what can you do? South America wouldn't live past Day 5 at the International, saying goodbye to both Beast Coast and Heroic. And I really hope these teams stay together, because I think they have a lot more to show. In 2024, we saw XG and Spirit play in the Grand Finals at 2 separate events, so the fact that we now see them in a best of 3 playing for top 8 is just sad to watch. Going the distance to Game 3, XG would put the region of China on their back, with Ame's Medusa delivering a masterclass, ending the game without dying a single time. And by the way, Sniper Diffusal Blade, it's back. As we look into our bracket for top 8, who do you think is gonna win? And do you think we'll see any more upsets? Let me know in the comments. Although it's hard to predict which team is gonna win TI, it's easy to predict that better days are coming. Don't let this world put any negativity above you. You're not defined by your car, your job, your house. You're defined by your character and your attitude. Be yourself unapologetically. Stay focused on what makes you happy, and thank you for having the courage for facing everything you go through. Don't let anyone or anything dim your light. You've got what it takes to keep moving forward. I believe in you. Once again, thank you for watching. We got another video coming up very soon, right after TI, so stay tuned for that. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.